Instead of coming home and going outside and playing, I would come home, close my door and cry myself to sleep. I would have multiple nightmares.
It shocks your faith, it can rock it, it can make it a little disoriented.
I just said, I'm not going to be back in this again, and my heart turned off. My desire to have faith in God turned off. And then I just said, I'm going to hell in a handbasket and let's get it going, and I went crazy.
I heard it so much, it'll get easier. It will get easier in time. And I know the day of her funeral, I thought if I hear that one more time, I am going to scream because I wanted that pain to go away. It's undescribable. I didn't want to have to deal with that for any length of time.
I struggled with why did God allow this to happen. I don't have an answer for that today, and I don't know that I do need an answer for that. I just know that when it did happen, God showed up in a very powerful way.
I never really did just sit down and dwell on why me. And I guess why I didn't was because why should I think I was any better than anyone else that had lost their husbands or their wives or their children? And until you walk in someone else's shoes, you don't know what it's like.
It really makes you look at people a little different. When you walk up to somebody on the street, you think, is this a killer? Because you don't know.
The suicidal thoughts, tendencies, and all that came into play. And as you get older and you're able to understand more, so it's almost like the hurt grew. It didn't actually become less, it probably grew.
When Jeff was having his hard time, he asked me one day, he said, Mom, God lied to us. And I said, how do you think God lied to us? Well, he said he promised he'd take care of us. He didn't take care of Gina. What makes you think he's going to take care of us? I didn't have an answer, for a child. And then he said, Mom, this was your fault. And I said, Jeff, how do you think that this is my fault? He said, because if you didn't make us go to church, Gina would be here right now. And I said, did you know that mean man was coming? Did you know he was going to be there? He said, no, ma'am. I said, neither did I. I said, if I'd known he was coming, I would have took you 3 kids and we would have went as far as we could have went. But I didn't know. And my prayer was that he wouldn't grow up blaming me.
Every day I think about it. It's not a sad day, but some days it's lonesome.
I think about it every Sunday. I watch those windows, and I'm at the doors and the windows of people going by.
I just said, I'm not going to be back in this again, and my heart turned off. My desire to have faith in God turned off. And then I just said, I'm going to hell in a handbasket and let's get it going, and I went crazy.
I did think about, obviously, why wouldn't it have been me rather than her? But I'd much rather it had been me now than her then, because I put myself in her shoes. I don't want her to feel that pain.
When I would go outside, I would look behind trees, I would look behind cars, I would look behind where anyone could be, just cringing, and I could feel a gun aimed at me. And that happened for a long time, a long time. It affects your life in different ways, forever.
I was having a lot of bad dreams, a lot of nightmares connected with the shooting. I had those for quite a while.
It did take my faith away, and it's taken me many years.
It took your belief in God away, or what?
Mm-hmm. I was a Christian and this and that, and then all of a sudden just poof, And, you know, the whole world went to hell. I was like, are you serious? And, you know, it's just, once you lose your faith in God, things just go downhill. And I'm starting to learn that maybe a lot of the trials and tribulations that I've had in my life might have been different.